Hey everybody, happy Wednesday and welcome back to another edition of PhilsPhive. Hope your week is going well. Hopefully things are going to dry out there because I know it's been a bit of a wet one and probably not the ideal way to reduce the demand on lumber and try to get some of the prices under control. That's kind of my first set of comments here is just where we stand on that. Some have been kind of looking at the lumber futures numbers, which are pointing down, but those aren't always a good indicator of where the market's going to go. It certainly has plateaued somewhere around $1,500 per thousand board feet, which is the measure that NHB looks at in the commodities realm to kind of see what the barometer is and where things are. But I do think there's some pullback that's happening just from talking to builders in terms of their appetite to swallow these escalating prices, not just on the lumber, but literally everything else. I keep getting emails and just phone conversations with builders that are seeing prices escalate on a litany of materials. And believe me, we've been talking to our media contacts as well as our congressional delegation about this. If you had to ask me, crystal ball, where does this go and what's it look like? I think we'll see somewhat of a plateau, maybe a little dip in price throughout the summer and into the fall. But I think it's really as we get into the fall and into the fourth quarter where we'll see some substantial declines. And I think that'll be a progress of some of our advocacy efforts finally breaking through. I think that'll be a little bit of the seasonal demand coupling itself with opening back up and trying to get just all of our supply chains back online, which I think will extend what I think will still be a pretty strong year for construction in this area, probably around 50,000 home starts, which would be as good as we've been since 2007. So save this video. 6 months later, I guess we'll see if I'm right, but that's kind of my crystal ball on this. The second thing, switching gears a bit, that I have, speaking of economic prognoses, if that's a word, we've got Brian Glassangle, the senior VP with Zonda, who's going to be giving a housing market update. They're as good as it gets in the business. He's going to be out to our Metro East division, who's returning for the first time in person on Thursday, June 17th. Just had a great moderated Dallas City Council debate with our Dallas division last week. That went really well, so I'm glad to see Metro East getting back into the fray there. We also have the finalists that are going to be announced next week for the McSam Awards, so visit mcsamawards.com, find out more about that. The winners are going to be announced at a great ceremony that in celebration that'll be held on July 24th at the Westin Galleria. Thanks to Structure Home Warranty for sponsoring that, and it's going to be a great time getting everybody back together. ARC Awards for the associates, remodelers, and custom builders out there. The ARC Awards entry deadline is June the 25th, so that's right around the corner. The winners are going to be announced on August 14th, so we want to make sure to really get as many entries as we can through arcawardsentrys.com, and a big thanks to Ferguson for being the sponsor on that one. And last but not least, we've got a very unique education social hour that's going to be partnered by the Vinyl Siding Institute, who's helped us with some legislation here recently in the state. That's going to be on July 13th. Look for some information about that in the punch list or on dallasbuilders.org. I know Sheena, our education director, has been working with their leadership on a mix and mingle for that. So mark your calendar, a lot of good stuff coming up. Certainly a lot of challenges out there, but rest assured the Dallas BA will remain on top of them. And I appreciate you tuning in to this week's edition of PhilsPhive on Facebook Live. Take care.